This is question 8 on Unit 1 Foundation, June 2011. A newspaper headline states only 80% of teenagers think Winston Churchill was a real person. Show that the ratio of the number of teenagers who think Winston Churchill was a real person to those who do not think he's a real person is 4 to 1. Well, we know up here 80% do think he's real. Now if that's a percent, percents are out of 100. So if 80% do think he's real, the do not people must be 20%, because 80 plus 20 make the full 100%. That's everybody. So this ratio is 80 to 20, and these two dots here are what we use for ratio. Now we've got to show that that's the same as 4 to 1. We've got to cancel these down. It's a bit like fractions, really. Can you spot a number that goes into both of those? Well, 10 goes into both of those numbers. 80 divided by 10 is 8. 20 divided by 10 is 2. So that ratio is exactly the same as 8 to 2. And then we do it again. Can you think of a number that goes into both 8 and 2? Well, 2 does. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 2 once. So that is the working out that you need to show that the ratio is 4 to 1. In this question, where they tell you what the answer is, 4 to 1, you've got to have some working out down there. They would want to see this 80 to 20 to get that 1 mark over here. Next question, Hannah claims GCSE history students are more likely than other teenagers to know Winston Churchill was real. Design a data collection sheet for Hannah to investigate her claim. So we need to know from history students whether they think he's real, and from students who don't do history. So we need to split the sheet up really into history. Do you study history? Yes or no? And do you think Winston Churchill is real? Yes or no? Once we have that table, every combination that she needs can be listed. If they do history and they think he's real, that will go there. If they do think history and they think he's not real, that would go down here. If they don't do history, think he's real. If they don't do history and they don't think he's real. So what she could do, we haven't got to do this next bit, but if she asks somebody, they do history and they say he's real, put a mark in there. Ask somebody, they don't do history, think he's real, put a mark in there. And she could build up her data, collect her data using that sheet. Then it says down here, the ratio of GCSE history students who think Winston Churchill was real to those who do not is 17 to 3. So, do think he's real? Yes is 17, and the no's are 3. So that's 17 people say yes, out of a total of 17 and 3, 20. Now we've got to say, is Hannah's claim right? Well, Hannah claimed that history students are more likely to think Churchill was real. So the history percentage number needs to be over 80 for Hannah to be true. So we've got to change this 17 out of 20 into a percentage. To get a percentage number, you pretty much always do your small number divided by your big number times by 100. So here my small number is my 17 people, my big number is my 20 people, and I need to times that by 100. Time to reach for a calculator again, which you're allowed on this unit. 17 divided by 20 times 100, that's 85. So 85% of the students who study history think Churchill was real, compared with 80% of teenagers. So is Hannah's claim true? Do more history students think it is real? Because that's what she was saying here. The answer is yes. So we need to make sure a yes down. And our reason is because that 85% is there, and that 85% for those who study history is more than the 80% for all teenagers.